Welcome back to G-Man-P, the Great TV. If you tuned in, hit a like, share, and subscribe. If not, we ain't doing no tripping. Now, what we talking about today is going to be kind of short. It's border corruption. It really don't have nothing to do with what I'm trying to tie in all together, but I just want to expose certain aspects, and people need to learn how to watch who they put their mouth on and quit judging books by their cover. You hear me? But this is just bringing to the light while you pointing your finger at someone else trying to say how bad they are. I've been giving examples of people that you see every day in a suit or tie, and you think just because they're in a suit or tie and they went to college that they're good people. They can be evil and deceptive and criminals too. Let's get to it. Border corruption. The FBI helps combat the threat posed by public corruption at our nation's border and ports of entry. Every day, more than 1 million people enter the U.S. through one of the more than 300 official ports entries and through seaports and international airports. The federal government also protects approximately 7,000 miles along the U.S. border and 95,000 miles of U.S. shoreline. Common acts of border corruption involve drug trafficking and human smuggling. Throughout the U.S., the FBI has investigated corrupt government and law enforcement officials who accept bribes, and graduates in bribes and gratitudes in return for allowing drugs or people to pass through ports of entry or checkpoints, overlook or escorting loads of contraband, providing needed documents such as immigration papers and driver's license, leaking sensitive law enforcement information, and conducting unauthorized records checks. Border corruption potentially impacts national security as well. Corrupt officers might believe they are accepting a bribe simply in return for allowing a carload of people to enter the U.S. illegally, when they might actually be facilitating the entry of a group of terrorists. The FBI often provides its expertise in joint investigations with its partners in federal, state, and local law enforcement. Many of these investigations involve FBI, Border Corruption Task Force, and working group located in nearly 24 cities along our borders. Members of these task force and working groups work together to combat corrupt officials, both operationally and through intelligence and information sharing. Federally, the FBI coordinates investigation efforts along the borders with Department of Homeland Security, Office of Inspector General, Customs and Border Protection, Internal Affairs, Transportation Security Administration, Drug Enforcement Administration, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Office of Professional Responsibility. See, I never even really, this is the first time I had read this, and even Border Patrol officials is taking bribes and gratitudes. You know what I'm saying? So there's bribes, it goes on this corruption, this organized corruption inside these local governments and these local police officers and these local lawyers, these local judges, and not every last local judge, local lawyer, local police, all of them's not crooked. You understand? All of them's not taking bribes. You understand? But it's a majority of them that are. Detectives. I mean, do we got to go on? Like, and shout out to 50 Cent and his the TV show called Power. Because really, if you pay attention in 50 Cent's show Power, he's exposing what they've been doing. Not just in New York City. These is in every city and state. how corrupt, like that one white dude that was a Fed, and he'd always do some shit that he ain't had no business, and then he ended up breaking the law just so because he's so pressed to get somebody caught up in something. You understand? There's a lot of officials out here like that. Shout out to 50 for power, man. You exposing these clowns. So, really, that's one thing I wanted to come up here and say for real. It's just, you know what I mean? And eventually, when my story's said and done, well, I haven't even told my full story because a lot of people probably wouldn't believe me. So, I'm going to wait, you know what I'm saying? My full story. You understand? I'm not going to tell my full story because people going to think I'm lying and all that. I ain't got time for that. So when the time is needed, I'm telling my full story. Everybody that was tuned in to G-Man P, we appreciate it. And to the ones that didn't, we ain't doing no tripping. Peace.